Welcome to Authors Night Live, where we dive into the stories behind the books and the brilliant minds. Hold on one second. We'll be out here twice. How in the world? Okay, give me 1 second, y'all. The show is doubling for some reason. We cannot operate that way. Let's see. I'm about to be a tech real quick. We are on twice. I'll see what's happening here. Okay, sometimes we have technical difficulties. I think we are here one time. We were here. Oh my goodness, who's there? Okay, this is YouTube. Let me see what's happening. Just bear with us for a second. You know, sometimes stuff happens and we gotta go fix and when you're running your own show, I'll fix this real quick. Okay, we're gonna just start something else real quick because it is gross. How are we here twice? This is crazy. All right. All right. All right. Life happens. We get those technical difficulties. And I don't have a tech person. So today I had to be a host and a tech person. So life happens and we can move on and get this show done. Welcome to Authors Night Live. And my script just disappeared. So, welcome to Authors Night Live. We just going live. That's what just happens here when we're here, and we have an amazing guest tonight. Things have been a little crazy with the tech tonight, but we are here, and we are going to have a wonderful show with Precious L. Williams. Yes, yes. She is an amazing speaker. I'm going to bring her on, and we're going to get started with her tonight. Hey, Precious.
And of course, I would have it on mute when we start. Oh, all the technical difficulties, and it still is not going to stop us. Hey, Queen, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? How are you? What tell us about these amazing things that you have done while I'm trying to get this script up. But go ahead and let's get started because
Let's
we
get
got
started. Well, Queen, maybe we don't need a script. Maybe we can just go play by play.
yeah, sometimes that happens. We got to do that.
Sometimes that happens. And
I've
I'm
done that
Precious
plenty of
Williams,
times.
everyone. I'm known as the killer pitch master. I'm a five-time number one best-selling author, international professional speaker, killer pitch master, 13-time national elevator pitch champion. And I love being an author. I love that my first book literally changed my life. I love the fact that when I look back, my first book came out when I was 40 years old. And we had the title for this book for 3 years before it came out. And so to unleash it on the world and to see what has come from it has been amazing. And now I'm 46 years old. That book is still being sold today to companies, corporations, foundations, nonprofits, and private associations around the world. Yes, so Black on both sides, no Brazilian butt lift, no six pack abs, former attorney here in the great state of New York. And I love that pitching, sales, being a former attorney, plot, twist, flipping the script all come throughout my books. It plays out throughout my books too.
Awesome. So tell me the journey from becoming an attorney, to the pitch master. Not just any pitch master. Your
The
name,
killer pitch
the
master.
killer pitch master. So tell me about that journey.
The journey actually, listen, I wanted my whole life to be an attorney, to be better than Johnny Cochran. A glove doesn't fit, you must have quit. But I'll even take it further back. I used to watch the old black and white Perry Mason, colored Perry Mason, LA Law, all of them. So I could see myself being this attorney, slicing and dicing in the courtroom, being better than F. Lee Bailey. I remember when Court TV first came out. Did I ever think I'd be the killer pitch master? No, because it didn't exist before I stepped up on the scene. And so being disgruntled, being in the profession and realizing that maybe what I wanted may be out of reach. And as much as I respect the practice, I wanted to start a company. And it was a company for plus size women called Curvy Girls Lingerie. And someone had to pitch that company because people didn't look at me at 327 pounds and say, we're going to invest in that company. Someone had to pitch it, and that had to be me. So every no that people told me, it would never get off the ground, it would never do this. It's funny how things change when people see you on television pitching and people are wanting to invest in your company. They see you on Shark Tank, they see you on this. So my pitching literally came because my back was against the wall. And I had to figure out a way to pitch, to get investors, to get media, to get interest, and to turn that and convert that into dollars and cents. And the rest is history.
Wow, wow. So yeah, you have definitely made a history. You've been out here and 13 times you have become the national elevator pitch champion. Like,
Yes.
what was this? Tell me from the first one to the 13th one. How did you, what was it that you learned in doing so that you were able to master it and win 13 times?
From my very first one, I think I was just after the money at first, to be honest with you. I was like, they said it couldn't be done and I'm doing it. Well, when your first pitch gets you on national television and your second pitch gets you $500,000 in 54 seconds, you're like, yo, maybe I'm onto something. And I was told by my investors to enter pitch competition. So the very first one that I won, it was about the money. By my fourth or fifth one, I realized, no, it's about the connections in this room. There is media, there are investors, and there are people who can push this forward. The last competition I won was Black Enterprise National Pitch Competition on May 16, 2013 in Columbus, Ohio. And to win in front of your own people who look just like you, I have to tell you, like, I cried my eyes out in Columbus, Ohio, in the Midwest. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. So to imagine having MC like Robert Townsend, Five Heartbeats, the judges, the audience, and winning it all, it was the most incredible experience. And I went from 327 to losing weight, to gaining weight, to all of that, but truly being the best in the world and starting my company, Perfect Pitches by Precious, right after that.
Wow, wow. So you've been out here, you've been doing your
It's been 15 years live.
wow, wow. So you built this powerhouse brand, the Killer Pitch Master.
I am
And
the killer. It's lay all competition.
you trademarked that, right?
Oh, you already know.
You attorney, you know. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So your books teach confidence and communication. What inspired you to write those particular books? I love the titles, and how do they help readers pitch
Oh,
themselves?
you mean these right here? Shameless
Yes,
plug? Oh,
those
you
right
mean these
there.
right here? Oh, okay. What inspired me to write my first book, which came out when I was 40 years old, is I noticed that when it came to pitching, there was usually this formula, my name is, that, the standard formula. And that's not how I learned how to pitch. Go ahead. I love what's on the screen. Go ahead, queen. Go ahead, queen. But I felt like that is not going to help a majority of people who are pitching their businesses for prize money, who are pitching for investors, who are pitching for sales. Mm-hmm. And I realized I knew 6 forms of pitching, not just one. Mm-hmm. Some people know elevator, media, and investor, but what about the sales, speaker, and interview? And so this book, I wanted people to understand, who are you always in competition with? There are 7 branding personas or 7 branding types that come out. Are you unstoppable? Are you flawed? Are you ruled by numbers? Are you funny? Are you mysterious? Ruled by power? And when you find out which 1 or 2 you're in, then you can start writing the pitches that are specific to you, your brand, your business, your product or service. And so once you understood who you were, Bad Bitches and Power Pitches is my very first book, reviewed by Forbes magazine, my first billboard in Times Square at 40 years old. Once you understand that, then you can start writing those pitches. And in this book is the game plan, right? So what isn't needed in an elevator pitch? What's needed in an investor pitch, a speaker pitch, and all of that. But how does it match your personality and your brand so you don't sound like everybody else? So that was important for me to come out the gate hard. And then once you get your pitches together, I'm going to teach you how to make your network do business development for you. They're going to hear of opportunities and think only of you. And this makes sure that you get paid. I know there are a lot of speakers out there. Everybody asks you to speak for free. Dead that. So it's important for me that if you are product-based business, if you are service-based business, if you're a speaker, if you're an author, you need to sell your books. You need people to know who you are, and it gains you visibility. Did I ever think I'd be in movies and documentaries? Did I ever think I'd host a show? Did I ever think that I'd be flued out like an Instagram thotty to train and teach companies around the world? This Black woman does. And that's why when I wrote these books, the titles are the way they are. It is supposed to make you feel some type of way. And the greatest thing that happened is men would take pictures as they bought the book and say, I want to know what she's teaching in there, and take a picture of the book. And I said, then you did exactly. A pitch should make you feel some type of way. It should make you feel hated or love it. The underdog's on top. But you're going to want to buy it. You're going to want to go in. Why did I only do it for women? Can men learn from that too?
Mhm.
That's what a pitch is supposed to do.
Mhm. Awesome, awesome. Well, that's why we have Courageous Woman magazine and Courageous
Yes.
Woman magazine too. So I get that. I get it. Wow. So yeah, like, so when it comes to mindset, and you talked about authors, so your pitching does not just apply to authors. What about producers or directors or any other industry? They can apply to all those industries, right?
They can, and that's why I'm so excited to share that there are more to pitching than you think. When people thought of pitching, they thought of Shark Tank, and I was like, that's investor pitching. Some of you are going to be before the media. What are you going to say that gets them interested in you? That gets them
Mhm,
to want to feature your story or
mhm,
your brand. So
mhm,
pitching is great for authors, but it's also good to get you on stages. It's also good to sell whatever it is that you, some of you all have courses, some of you all are coaches and consultants. This is a
mhm,
great way of making you the only choice that matters. And that's what a
mhm,
pitch should do. Make you
mhm,
the only choice that matters for that opportunity.
mhm,
We're now in the holiday season. A lot of
mhm.
people would like to be in gift guides, their books and gift guides, or people to be searching out for what they want to put out there. So if you know how to pitch, it can make you rich. And once you know how to make it rain, you can what? Slay the game.
Right. So you talked about investor pitching. That's a whole nother level
A
of
whole
pitching.
nother
It's a
level.
whole nother level. And you did that for Shark Tank. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So what was it that you pitched, and what was that experience like?
So on Shark Tank, I was pitching Curvy Girls lingerie, the ultimate shopping experience for full figure divas and what plus size fashionistas. And so with Curvy Girls lingerie, when I first had the idea for starting it, people told me I was too fat, too black, didn't have an Ivy League degree. Did I not just leave the inner city of St. Louis, Missouri, go to Spelman College, Georgetown University Law Center, Rutgers School of Law on a full scholarship, pass the bar on my first try to be told no? I don't know who you're talking to. So how was going to get this story out there? How was I going to get out that full figure divas, they gets love too? I was dating a very famous Hollywood actor, but how do I show that this is a market that is growing? How do I show that these women have the money and yet nothing? You can't go into Victoria's Secret. You can't go into Journal, Agent Provocateur, Wolford. You cannot go into them unless you're looking for makeup or hair products. I was a size 28. Who made sexy, stylish, and fashion forward lingerie? Nobody I knew. So we created it. And how did we get out there? I never once called us plus size women. I said full figure divas and plus size fashionistas. The next thing I do is I just show up in the right package. If you think, full figure divas are going to come in with muumuus, no, I'm going to come in a low cut canary yellow peplum dress and afro and extreme makeup. I'm tailor made for this. And I want to show that there's a depth and breadth to the women that I am showcasing, and that we love colors. We love all these sort of things. And we have the dollars and cents to back it up. There are over 40 million women size 14 or larger, just like me. And we all want pretty underwear. So who's going to create it? I will. Another thing that I did when I was on Shark Tank or on any of these shows and media was to definitely help them to understand not only does the numbers add up, but I'm the right jockey for this horse. Because I went through this problem, because I know what it's like to try to get a job at Victoria's Secret, to try to learn the behind the scenes and not get the job because they thought I was too big. And then going against the grain, raising money in an environment where people would not even look at women my size. And then to be on Shark Tank and blow the sharks away. So your wording has to be correct. You need to be able to convert from your pitch. And you also need to make sure that you captivate, titillate, delight, and excite. And being the only choice that matters, you will only want to invest in me.
Wow. So how long was your pitch? And was that your pitch that you just said?
That was part of my pitch. My
Okay.
pitch on Shark Tank, I think, was about 3.5 minutes. But
Okay.
let's talk about how I even got there, because pitching starts long, long before you think it does.
Okay.
So 7 of my clients had already appeared on Shark Tank, and I knew if I did my job right, they'd ask them, how did you get the pitch together? And they would say Precious Williams. I knew that. And so when they actually called me and said, could you send us a video? So no, there was no standing in line, y'all. None. I sent them a video of me pitching. They're like, you fill out this application. I flew out September 11th from New York to LAX, filmed September 15th. And when I was standing out with my models, I remember before I walked into that tank, they asked me, "Are you ready?" I said, "I was born ready." So I start off with a question, a startling statistic, or a quote. I am not here to bore them. So when I walked into that tank, I wanted to bring all of me. Like Jack Nicholson, where did they get a load of me? You think I'm gonna talk about food? I'm gonna talk about taking your man, your woman, and your dog Toto too with some nice lingerie. Come get this work.
What? Okay.
Yes, they were so like, whoa. I said, as a pitch master, my job is to truly show that these women deserve beautiful, sexy, stylish, and fashion forward lingerie. I'm not only the client, I'm the lingerie president. So let's go. And I'll make a compelling case and make you want to invest. And that's
Mhm.
exactly what happened.
And they did invest.
They wanted to. I didn't want the deal.
Okay,
So
got it.
imagine doing that. Imagine
Oh,
doing
good
that.
deal.
But as a
Mhm.
Black woman at the time in 2016, I really wanted to prove I'm the best in the world at what I do. Don't let the outside, don't let the package fool you. I
Okay.
am the best. And it's important to show others that a lot of us have a dream. A lot of us have this vision. A lot of us have this idea. How do we put it in words that make people want to buy, to sell, to buy, to invest, to refer, to give you the opportunity before it even hits the stores or the shelves? That is what a great pitch can do.
Mm, okay. 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 So when I hear you, I am your confidence illuminates me. Is that and is that what a lot of times that's what women or and men are missing. You went in hard. You went in like this is me. I got this. You went in with that confidence, and it's a mindset to even have that kind of confidence. So what? And you got to have some shifts. Like when you're an entrepreneur, you just can't be. Sometimes you can't be an introvert. Like it's if you want something. Like if
Mhm.
you already got it, you everything all set up. But when you trying to get it and you trying to go, be all you can't go in there like a little puppy. You got to be bold, and that's what you are. So share a little bit about the mindset that matters. You need the right mind.
You do need a mindset, and honestly, Queen, some people say fake it till you make it. I faked it till I made it. The truth is, it was difficult to be a 327-pound woman in a world that values thinness, uh, a skin color that doesn't look like mine, and tells you every day that you're worthless, you're tired and you're through. So I knew since I was a little girl that I was going to be considered the outsider, which means that I cannot allow myself to feel that way or to think that way. So I had to come in like Miley Cyrus, the wrecking ball. You may have encountered a lot of full figure divas who are quiet, who are in the background. I refuse. I'm Beyonce. I just am. And so I refuse to stand in the background for anyone. And if I'm going to sell this, then I have to be the best representative. So even if I'm scared, I remember when I pitched the producers of MSNBC, my bladder was full. This was my Hail Mary moment. It's like that song by Eminem, lose yourself. He said, "Mama, I cannot grow old in Salem's lots. To her I go, it's my shot. Feet fail me not. This may be the only opportunity that I got. If this is my only opportunity, I'm going ham and cheese, peanut butter and jelly." That's the St. Louis term. And that's what I took in. I took in the blood of my grandparents, my grandmother, Precious Dolores Williams, my grandfather, Raymond Woodrow Williams. I came from the hood of St. Louis, and I said, I'm going to make it, and I did. My point is, there's so much riding on me. We got these princesses and princes, these kings and these queens who've never seen what can be done when you dare to fight the enemy in the mind and to fight the world and say these women deserve, and if they deserve, then I'm going to be the representative. So of course I was scared. Of course people wanted to say things, are you going to eat or you going to eat? No. I'm just going to snatch edges to them, snatch edges and waist, and I'm going to make that compelling case why I'm the only choice that matters. In order to become a 13-time national pitch champion, why wouldn't I be a bad bitch with the power pitch? Why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I write the definitive book on pitching that doesn't sound like The Art of the Killer Pitch? These titles alone brought the business world to me. They brought the business world to me. This is not any kind of book. And so
Mhm.
titles mean something. Your
Titles mean
titles mean
everything.
something. So mindset, I believed I could, even if the world said no. And because my creator gave me that idea and showed me the vision, it was mine to walk all the way through the door. I'm glad 15 years ago I had this idea. Did I know it was a killer pitch master? No. Did I know all of this? No. But I'm so glad that 15 years ago, he blessed me with the vision to leave my ex-fiance, wind up meeting this very famous actor who inspired this company, and look at where I'm today, 15 years later.
Mm. Wow. All right. All right, Queen. So, um, let's talk about the mistakes that people have made. Like, in the journey, because if we don't know, we don't know. And people
Right.
will go and try to do things this way and that way. Even in publishing. I'm a publisher, but people
Yes.
come to me all the time with the way they think it should be done. And they do, well, I can do this on my own. And I say, okay. And I just let them. And then they'll come back later.
Of
Well,
course I'll come back,
I
right?
don't know what I did wrong. I'm like, lots. But so let's talk about one other question too, about before we go to that question, your title of your book. Was there, when you that title, first book, was there any negative
Yes.
feedback? I wanted to ask you that.
Yes. First
Was
of all,
there any
yes,
negative
I said
feedback?
in the beginning, 3 years I had that title, right? And my queen, Sharon Monet of Penn Legacy, she reached out to me. I was 40 years old, and she said, "Where's the book at?" She said, "What's the title?" I said, "Bad Bitches and Power Pitches." She said, that book's coming out." And I was like, I said, "They told me it's not going to be a good title." She said, "That title's going to sell it alone." I said, "My name is Mud. I'm coming out of a dark situation." She said, "Your name, you still have a name." She gave me 2.5 months to write the book. I'm gonna say it again, y'all. I ain't getting no year. I got 2.5 months. She said, "Somebody's gonna take that title. Let's get this work." And let me tell you, I had to write it. I had to write a chapter a week. A chapter a week. She went through it, cut it up, and everything. I'm gonna be honest with you. When we put it out, I didn't have a marketing plan. Like I don't. I think that's just how little I was like. If I can get one person to buy. Do you know my business coach, Ty Goodwin, at the time, she called me, she said, "Your book is number one on Amazon. It's number one at full price, $19.99. You are selling out." And I was like, and so 3 years, I let people tell me it was crass, it was disrespectful, it was this. As I let other people who look nothing like go to F to sleep. You're a bad A at making money. But my title was held to this standard, but it is the very title that broke open in business. It broke open to Forbes reaching out to write a review of my book. It broke open to companies and corporations. Like, that does not sound like what we've been told by these corporate sales trainers. And so for 3 years, I carried this title that, and she broke it open. And to go forward, I'm so glad that you meet the right one who says, "This is the time, this is now." When that billboard went up in Times Square, and I live here in New York, I remember looking at it and the face of my face and thinking, when I was growing up, my mother said I was ugly, I was stupid, I would never. And at 5 years old, I knew to have a billboard in Times Square, but I never thought it would be with this book. And so that's why this book means a lot to me. It's because it put me on the map when I felt so low, but I knew I had something in me that had to come out. And I'm glad it's a business book because it will stand the test of time. In fact, this year we sold 447 of them. This book came out when I was 40. I'm
Wow.
46.
Yes. And yeah, that I was curious about that because I just
Oh,
looking
girl,
at
you
it,
know,
it's
and my friend Kelly
powerful.
Charles
But I
Collins,
know
she
you
told me,
had
"You better put that book out."
exactly. I'd have told you the same thing. Nope, this is coming out. Yeah, I bought it immediately. So
Yes. And I'm glad. I'm glad. So you see my first three books, you see the titles.
mhm,
And then after that, it changed. BMW had hired me and it couldn't be the pitch bitch. So
mhm,
my friend Nicole Nixon said, "Call it the pitch queen." And
mhm,
that changed everything.
mhm.
So your first three, your first few books, you're getting on the map. People are really respecting you, but there's also another audience that may want you, and so they might not be able, because they're a foreign company. They might not be able to buy your books. They might not be able to do certain things, and so you realize that you're still in the act of becoming. And so I'm so proud of all 5 of my books. I'm proud of
Mhm.
the first titles. I'm still a bad bitch with a power pitch, but I'm still making it rain and slaying the game as a rainmaking speaker.
See, that confidence just
Come
is
on
right
now.
there, right? Come on now with that. So you help people find their voice. So many people have voices and they're like, again, they're like, I don't know what I should do or what I should say or how I should say
Right.
it. Your books help people, help them find their voice. And so how does pitching empower the individual who has felt overlooked and underestimated?
Can we be honest? Most of us have felt overlooked, disrespected, kicked to the curb.
Mhm.
My books, as well as when people meet me, you will realize that I don't want anybody to be me. I want you to be the best version of who you are. If you're introvert, if you're extrovert, or an ambivert, oh, we're gonna pull it out of you. The very things that you're ashamed of, you think people wouldn't feel for you, are the very things that's gonna pull them to you. Imagine being 327 pounds, a former attorney who lost the love of her life, and also bounced back harder.
Mhm.
Who has the clients like Visa everywhere you want to be. I couldn't give up, but I also understood that there was something in me, and I wasn't doing it for myself. I was doing it for others. And a lot of our businesses, a lot of us as authors, we have a story that is meant to touch the world, to show that there is a before and there's an after, and there's a in the process. I wouldn't be the businesswoman that I was if I kept that to myself. I wouldn't be the woman that I was if I only told the perfect story. I had to prove that there were enough women who would support that company, who there were women who didn't even see themselves as bad bitches. They just wanted to feel seen and heard. And I understood the assignment. And so I took every sling and arrow, just like everybody else. Some of us are in our 40s, 50s, and 60s and told you're irrelevant. How dare you try to do this and that? And I'm like, there are no limits. Like Usher, there are no limits. I wrote my book so that people can find themselves in every chapter. You've had your heart broken, join the club. You've had a business complete, join the club. You've had people tell you no, join the club. Cat Williams said, if you ain't got no haters and you had 17 by the end of summer, I'm guessing you don't have your 17. This book is bringing out the very best of you, your business, your brand, your product, your service in a way that speaks to your target market. Your target market isn't everyone. I spoke to women size 14 or larger. Them, I was very specific on them, professional women who wanted to show the world what they're actually made of and why they want to dress all of this up. My books are for those women entrepreneurs, there's speakers, there's coaches, there's consultants who need a new way of introducing themselves to the world or reintroducing themselves to the world so that they are seen, so that they are noticed, so that they become the only choice that matters. And so as you go through my books, you understand more about yourself. You can be unstoppable and deeply flawed. That's me. Unstoppable, hella flawed, hella flawed. And I own them both. You can be someone who's ruled by numbers and really funny. You can use that to your advantage in pitches that are specific to your brand. And most importantly, I didn't die with pitching. We also went into rainmaking sales because
Mhm.
if you can pitch, you can also sell. And if you can sell, you'll never you'll never not be wanted. And so
Mhm.
pitching leads into sales. And finally, I want to say this because I think it's so important. When I wrote my 5th book, Rainmaking 101, from day one, it was to show the world I am more than pitching, even if that's all you think I can do. When it comes to packaging, how do you show up? How do you look? What is so signature about you? Positioning. Are you the Kia, the Lexus, or the Rolls Royce? This determines if you get paid and how much. In pitching, they're all integral. They're all important to you truly rainmaking. So we started with pitching because that's how I got out there. The longer I've been in business, if I wasn't a rainmaker, I would not have clients like Google, LinkedIn, Microsoft, or Blackstone, or Verizon, or Thinkific, or any of these big, powerful companies. I'm still Black on both sides. No Brazilian butt lift, no six-pack abs. I didn't buy my way in. I didn't only fan my way in. This is talent. This is truth. And this is being able to create the blueprint and the proprietary formula for pitching and sales. And that's why I say plot twist, flip the script. I am more than most people knew that I could be, but I'm everything that God made me to be.
Awesome. That's perfect. That's perfect. And you talk about storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
So how important is it to share your story? Not being a publisher, I've learned this. And even in my I am Miss Elite US. I'm a pageant queen. And Miss
Clock
Elite
it.
US 2024,
I'm not. I listen. Go ahead.
I actually won the speech contest because I had to share my real story.
Yep.
And so the realness that I've learned is you got to be real. So how real? What is the give us some tips on sharing your personal story?
Queen, when I say that's such a great question, let me be honest with you. When I'm in sales mode, when I'm sales training, my personal story does not come up because it's irrelevant to what we're doing.
Right.
The stories that have come up are all around sales and mindset of selling. If I am the keynote, then I go into some stories people have never heard from my background because I wanted to be clear. The woman standing up here, she was not always here. And that took a long time for me to understand. I used to sit in the audience and listen to these amazing men and women, kings and queens. Man, they always had it. Now that I'm 46 years old, the more I realized they didn't. This was a becoming process. This is, no, 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 yes, no, and kept pushing until the doors kept opening. So depending on the audience, that's why I said pitching is important. In an elevator pitch, what is the goal? In a media pitch, what's the goal? You're getting them. You're going against the grain. You're doing something totally different that gets them. An investor pitch. If you're seeking investments, it should be a story, and it should also be your statistics. But the story has to be a part of the statistics. Not some story of, I grew up in. Nobody cares about that story. If you are a speaker, what is the difference between you and everybody else? I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm a killer pitch master. So you don't compare me to Les Brown or Lisa Nichols or Tony Robbins. You hire me specifically for my zone of genius. If you're in an interview pitches, and to see of all these people you're interviewing, why am I the only choice that truly matters? So once you understand that, then you arrange your stories to match the audience you're in front of. And so investors are not concerned with my childhood story. They're concerned with what part of my story matches up to this growing market and how it will outlast me, right? If they give money, what's the return on investment? If it's an elevator pitch, there are people in that room or someone attached to them who needs your services. Are you speaking the language that they're going to hear? I don't talk about, what is it called? Not metamorphosing, but I'm manifesting. I don't talk in terms like that. If you need clients and customers right now, if you need to truly stand on a crowded marketplace, that's a very different way of speaking than I hope that you manifest the life of your dreams. That's not how I speak, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want you to know how many of y'all here and know everywhere you go. It's the holiday season. Ain't no Black Friday sales. That's a totally different way of getting at people. I'm speaking in a language that they're going to hear, not this beautiful language. So for me, depending on the audience, that dictates the type of stories I'm going to tell. And remember, I have a time limit. So what in those timetables? Sometimes you have 10 minutes. Sometimes you literally got 30 seconds. Oprah gets on the elevator with you. You're in an elevator, Oprah gets on the elevator. You got 30 seconds. What are you going to tell her? I tell you what you're not going to tell her. Oprah, I've loved you all my life. I watched her. That's not what you're going to do.
Right.
You're going to press the F out of Oprah. You're going to make her want to take your business card or want to take you off the elevator with her. That's what you gonna focus on. I don't want to hear about my childhood. I'm not going to bring that up with Oprah. I'm going to make sure that she remembers me. Come get this work.
All right. That's it. That's it. Make them remember you.
Right. And every story is not for every audience.
Right. That's awesome. Awesome. Well, I thank you so much for being here. I know there was a little bit of confusion. Those who are listening, that there was. It was like they was texting me. Is it tonight or is it tomorrow? Is it tonight or tomorrow? It's tonight and tomorrow.
Yes, it's tonight and tomorrow.
Tomorrow, she will be speaking on our platform, Courageous Women Speak. We have been doing that live, but we are in 2026. We'll be doing that both live and online, so the people that are not in Los Angeles can still hear the women speak. But yeah, so it's going to be phenomenal tomorrow night. She's going to drop some gems, and we're
Oh,
going to
I'm
have a
going
good
ham and cheese
time.
on them.
And if you want to come to tomorrow, you got to just register. See that QR code right there at the top of the screen. Just put your phone up there and get that information, and make sure you register. You must register to attend. So you can go to our website at courageouswomanmag.com. It's also there, and you can grab it right now, right on the screen. And you will be in the room where Precious L. Williams will be there, the killer pitch master. Okay, she's gonna be there tonight. We just chatting. We just having some
We just
conversation.
talking a little, we just fat mouthing.
Yeah. Tomorrow is gonna be very powerful, and she will be there, really sharing with you all, and she'll have some great information for you all if you come tomorrow night. So go ahead and register from that link right there, or you can go to our website at courageouswomanmag.com. You can also go to her website right now, perfectpitchgroup.com. It's scrolling across the screen right now. So go ahead and check her out and get some valuable information that she has right on her website at perfectpitchgroup.com. So, Miss Precious, do you have any last words, any encouragement you want to give to a speaker who's not quite, they're not sure what direction? Give them some. So you done gave a lot tonight, but let's go give them a last thought of put something on their minds about speaking.
I often say this, but fortune truly does favor the bold. The older I've gotten, the more bold I've gotten, the more I have more audacity. And you'd be surprised that when you put your vision together and you go full force, what can really happen. Dare to dream, and also get around people like courageous women. Get around those who support women who are making courageous steps each and every day. And if you can't see it, this is why you go to Courageous Women. Because once you see the courage that it takes, and it's not when things are great, it's not when things are optimal, it's when things are hard and they're tough. And we're built to sustain times like this. And so in order to be courageous, you have to take that step. You have to be around the right people, and your voice, as well as your books, as well as your story, is needed. Now it's time for us to figure out where you are needed, where you're wanted, and whether they're and where they're willing to pay for the type of impact you're going to do. Too many of us are in oversaturated places and don't realize there are other industries and places that need you and will sock you up like what biscuit. And so you want to reach out to me. I am Precious Williams. Our website is www.perfectpitchgroup.com. On LinkedIn, I'm Precious L. Williams, Rainmaking Speaker. On Instagram, I'm at Perfect Pitch Group. On Facebook, I'm at Perfect Pitch Group. And we're so delighted. Can't wait to see you all tomorrow because we're going in, right, Dr. Berry?
We're going in tomorrow. It's going to be phenomenal. So don't miss it. Tomorrow, Monday, December 8th, and it starts at 5 p.m. Pacific time. That's where I'm in California. Some of y'all in Eastern time. So what time is 5 p.m. Pacific time? I mean Eastern time. So
it's 8 p.m. I'm Eastern. I'm in New York.
Yes. So those of you who are Eastern time, be there at 8 o'clock. Those of
I want to sign on a little bit earlier because you just never know. Technology don't want us to be great.
Yes. It will be conducted on Zoom. So you must register to get the links, get all the details. So we're going to see you tomorrow. Okay. So thank you all for being here. For thank you, Precious, for coming and shining the light on your work. Has been phenomenal. Just your story, being on Shark Tank, being a 13-time pitch champion. What? So yes, she's gonna be here tomorrow. Look at the books. Go on Amazon right now. They're all on Amazon. Go get the books. Precious L. Williams. She's got a lot of books. Just put in her name and pull them all up. Go get the book. That's why we're here. We're here to support courageous women out here inspiring and empowering others. So support her, please. Go to Amazon and grab her books. It has been an incredible conversation. A huge thank you to you, Precious, for being here, for sharing your brilliance, your boldness, and the powerful strategies behind your success. Thank you so much. Tonight's episode sparked something in you, whether it's pitching your book, building your brand, or simply owning your spotlight. Make sure you grab her books and stay connected with her. She is truly one of the best to ever do it. Okay. So make sure you follow her. Thank you all for tuning in to Authors Night Live. Don't forget to subscribe. Go to courageouswomanmag.com if you want to be a guest on Authors Night Live. Go to courageouswomanmag.com/be a guest. All right. Thank you. And thank you for, you'll be able to catch these replays on YouTube and Instagram and LinkedIn and Facebook. Yes, thank you. Thank y'all for being here or coming back or whatever when we had the technical difficulties. That's live. We're live. So sometimes that happens. So again, thank you so much. Until next time, keep writing, keep dreaming, and always be courageous. All right, that's our show for tonight. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.
Night.